could happen, probably not going to happen, so I'm just going to go with what I do like, which is the best. Yeah, once upon a time, I found out that I couldn't jerk off if I thought a really hot chick going down on me. But a nice man, whoa, hello! So yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. So, things you need to know about me. I'm a nerd. I'm a massive, massive nerd, which I'm sure some of you have picked up already. I own 2 dice bags. I wish I had a TARDIS, and I recently published some random character generating tables where you take 2 10-sided dice, roll them a lot of times, and go, right, so now I have a minor character who has a purple string around her finger, and can write in leet, and she can be someone who my characters can meet, murder, save, buy condoms off if your characters in your books actually do buy condoms as opposed to running for the toilets and describing pistols and free ones. Don't tell me you don't know I've seen the video footage. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, my point is I'm a nerd, and that means I grew up on science fiction or fantasy, or both. In my case, it was fantasy. So I read a lot of David Evans, I read a lot of Jen Wirtz, I devoured Dragonlance series, so if anyone's a really big nerd, done all that one, and the Forgotten Realms series, although I think Forgotten Realms has also been the inside of the game's other hands. For everyone who doesn't believe that games know how to masturbate, they do. Anyway, look, the thing is, all the heroes in fantasy that I read were all straight. They were all awesome, strong, brave, brilliant fighters. Some of them were really funny, and they were all straight. They all had a tendency to fight demons, dragons, rescue the damsel, and they all got married at the end of the trilogy, if not at the end of the book, which was quite annoying, actually, once I worked out that I wasn't going to ever do any of those things, although the fact that dragons don't exist might put us crazy. But alternate sexualities, if you want to put quotation marks around that, they typically were limited to bad men who liked prepubescent boys. And we knew that they were bad because it said so on the page, usually right next to the word evil. I really didn't find alternate sexualities in fantasy books, and it's only been recently, if at all, that they've moved on from medieval times. I think some of them still haven't. I wrote a musical once, actually, to completely change topic. And I did that because there are no stage stories for gay boys on stage, or now there are, but there wasn't any gay Asian guys on stage. And I sort of went, if anyone's going to get a decent role out of this, you have to write it yourself. So I did. And I learned a lot about how to write fiction from writing stage shows, because you've got 2 hours, 1.5, 2 if you're really, really generous and you think that your audience is going to have a really good bladder capacity. And you have to put people driving through the entire show, and they can't fall out once, because if they fall out once, they're not going to tune back in. Anyway, I figure I write stories and fiction stories and novels and video games when I can actually work out how to finish them and learn how to code. But I write them for the same reason. I write them because if I don't write stories about people like me, about people like us, who will? And then, of course, I realized that straight women would, but I didn't know that when I was 16. I didn't know that there was actually slash fiction out there. I did find a little site called Men on the Net, which had lots of porn and lots of stories. And then I found the Nifty Archive. Does anyone know the Nifty Archive? I'm looking at you guys. If you don't know the Nifty Archive and are wondering where all the stories about men by men are, they're on there. And there was enough what I think the technical term is plot on the Nifty Archive to keep a young boy really, really happy amongst other things. And that possibly tells you all far more than I actually want you to know, so please go buy a drink right now, drink and forget that video I said that. Please? No?
Keep going, Matthew.
Okay. Nifty showed me that there were gay men out there in other people's imaginations, because I'm pretty sure that some of them are real. They were hunky, they were average, they were smart, they were brave, they were perfect, and sometimes they got very Gary Stew, which basically meant that everything that they wanted around in their life without having to do anything at all. It also exposed me to really awesome stories of amazing characters that never finished because the writer couldn't work out where to go, or died, or, you know, just gave up. It also exposed me to stories that had no punctuation or formatting. It was this giant wall of text where everything ran into each other and you couldn't work out who was saying what. And it also introduced me to the concept of voice of lubricated assholes. Pre-lubricated, you know, self-lubricating assholes. Actually, no, wait, that was the argument, never mind. But, you know, I sat there going, no, I can do this. I could do this. I could write this. Actually, I could write this better because I understand how lube works. And, yeah, okay, yeah, I have realized getting down to anything like that. Let's be brutally honest here. I'm also a Gen Y, which means I'm apparently conservative, self-indulgent, lazy, very hardworking, charitable, and defined by every other generation out there except possibly Z because they're too busy living their own lives. I'm the product of Chinese Norwegian parents. I lived in Hong Kong for 9 years. I don't speak Cantonese or Mandarin. I've got very good at one language. I think. I hope. I write books because, well, I seem to not be able to not write books. I geek out over Doctor Who, as I think I've already mentioned. I attempt yoga. Sometimes I have to be knocked out of yoga. I make my own ice cream just because I can. And I fail at ball games where the balls aren't attached to a penis. So, as not fun as weird about it, I do like to hope that I'm more than my sexuality. And I suppose, getting back to what I know Isabelle has just mentioned, one of my problems with certain stories is that I want to read the ones where men are defined by more than just the fact that another man gives them a boner. That's what I personally, and I've completely lost my place in what I was meant to be saying. I guess the reason I want to do that is because if Cap Ford and Sean Kennedy's Dash and Dingo can outwit a murder stalker, then I can survive coming out to my parents. Apparently. If Rick Reed's Adam Sullivan can find love in tragedy, then maybe I can deal with breaking up with an absolutely gorgeous guy who I loved, or who I did, and I think was wonderful, and he wasn't. But I can deal with that. Other people can. I can too. If I can tell you about me and the Hunkeeper, Isabelle, Rowan, please stop editing my speech notes. Thank you. Moving very, very swiftly on and on and. As I was saying, that's not going to work, is it? Okay. Look, I love gay romance as a genre because it publishes everything. It's been tacked on to the industry, to the scene, so recently that it publishes everything from, yes, the pure romances, but it also publishes the science fiction adventures or the post-apocalyptic worlds come crumbling down survival stories where two men can fall in love. Sometimes, or maybe not. Sometimes they're just fuck. But that's cool too. I love that I can write a story about two men trying to figure out why someone's trying to kill them in their dreams and hopefully have them enjoyed by other people. And I love to think that now, today, anyone, gay, straight, or somewhere in between undefined or unknown, as the alphabet soup does seem to be getting longer every single month. But I like the fact that anyone can pick up a book and read about amazing, heroic, and fantastic people, some of whom just might happen to be attracted to a member of the same gender or sex. And that's the world that I want to live in. And I feel that the best way I can help bring that world about is by writing stories and hoping that other people will read them. So that's what I do. That's why I try to make it happen. And perhaps because I'm a savvy sentimentalist, I do hope that sometimes you can start from once upon a time. So, thank you.